Guten Nachmittag, Maple class. It is really lovely to be able to do some of your German lessons for you this half term. I know that Mr. Venton has been teaching you really well during the autumn term, but I said that I would try and help out wherever I can because I know Mr. Venton is doing lots of your other videos as well. So I said that I would really like to be able to come and teach you some of your German for this half term whilst we're in lockdown, and also because I haven't taught you German for a little while as well. So it's really good for me to be able to come back and see what you were doing. So this is going to be a bit unusual for us to do German in this way, because normally if I were in class with you or Mr. Venton, you'd know that there'd be lots of things where we could kind of do it my turn, your turn, and you could practice as you're going along. So I think as you're watching the video this afternoon, I think that you need to be able to pause the video as you're going, and if you want to practice and have a go at a word and say out a word and repeat it, then please do. And you'll also find there are lots of helpful things on Google where you can do translate, which means that you can also hear how the word is said in case you don't quite hear it correctly. I'll try and make it as clear as I can, and I hope that we can go over lots of the things that we've done before and also introduce some new things as well. I know before Christmas you were looking at the school day and the school timetable, and I'm going to tell you exactly what we're going to be doing today and over the next few weeks as well. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen just to introduce what we're going to be doing this afternoon. So just 1 second. Okay, so you should be able to see on your screen now, we have got our first slide. So heute ist Mittwoch, den 13. Januar 2021. So just as a reminder, we always do our date in the same way. It's Mittwoch, it's Wednesday, then 13th Januar 2021 and 21. So to say that again, Mittwoch, den 13. Januar 2021. So that's today's date, and here we go with what we're going to do. So we're just going to start with a bit of a recap really on basic colours. Now I know I did this with you when we were in year 3, and we're going to be thinking a little bit more about those today and applying them a bit more, and getting to know some names of some shapes as well. So linking to our Mathematik, our maths, that we were learning just before Christmas as well. And then we're going to be building that towards some work with some art as well, so we can describe colours and we can describe some shapes as well. So just going to go show you to my next slide, which is this one. So our revision of things which I think that we should remember or know from before. So meine Frage ist, my question is, welche Farben kennst du? Welche Farben kennst du? So just wonder if you can work out what that sentence might mean. I know you've got the picture of the rainbow there. Some of you might be thinking, what colours can you see? But actually, key words here that we might already know. Farben, we know are colours. Welche Farben, similar to English, which colours? Welche Farben kennst du? Du is you. And the verb that we've got here today is the verb is kennen, which is to know. And so when you put it with you, it's kennst du. Welche Farben kennst du? So which colours do you know? Which colours do you remember? So what I'm going to do now is I think I'm just going to give you a moment to think about what colours you can remember and what colours you do know. So just take a minute, have a think, pause it if you need to. Think of the rainbow. What colours can you see? What colours can you remember? Just have a little think. Okay, I've just stopped sharing the screen there to think if you can remember any of those colours that we had before. So I wonder whether we had some of the colours such as rot, or blau, or grün, gelb, braun, schwarz. And if you were having trouble remembering any of them, here's the next thing I'm going to show you. You should remember one of our knowledge organisers, which I think we might have had before, and I'm sure Mr. Venton might have shown you before. So I'm just going to share with you another one of my screens as well. And this might help you. And again, you can pause your screen if you need to. And actually, what I think I'll do is I will just make this a bit bigger so that we can see. And if I go over here, so Farben. Did you get these ones right? Blau, Rot, Grün, Schwarz, Grau, Rosa, Gelb, Lila, Weiß, Gold, Braun, and Bunt, which means multicolored or colourful. You remember that word when we had Felix and Franzi in one of the videos saying that lots of things were bunt, it was colourful and multicolored. So there are some of our basic colours we had. And just over here, you might have remembered before some of the key phrases that we had that we should have learned, that you should already know. So if I were to say to you, welche Farbe ist, or welche Farbe hat? Zum Beispiel, welche Farbe ist das? Das ist grün. Welche Farbe ist das? Das ist rot. And we also talked before about meine Lieblingsfarbe. So my favorite color, meine Lieblingsfarbe ist. Meine Lieblingsfarbe ist blau. But some of you, if you remember, meine Lieblingsfarben sind. So if you've got more than one favorite color, you might say meine Lieblingsfarben sind gelb und lila. Or meine Lieblingsfarben sind weiß, lila und gelb. Okay. So just for a little bit of practice, whatever you've got around you at home, let's just practice that little instruction at the bottom. Zeigt mir etwas, das ist. So show me something that you've got. You can show it to an adult in your house, show it to your siblings, whoever you've got. So let's see if you can practice some of these colors. Zeigt mir etwas, das schwarz ist. What can you find in your living rooms? What can you find in your bedrooms? Das schwarz ist. Okay. And next one. Zeigt mir etwas, das grün ist. Zeigt mir etwas, das grün ist. Yeah. Okay. And you can practice doing that one at home with your families as well, and getting your family members to do that and saying, zeigt mir etwas, das, whatever the color might be, ist. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen there. So we've been back over some of those colors, and now we're going to think what we're going to do next. So I'm just going to go back to my other screen, which is this one. So, welche Farben kennst du? And I think by now we all know our basic colors or are reminded of them. And what we're then going to go on to do now, go back to our learning intention. We've got to know some of the names of the basic colors, and hopefully that was revision. And now we're going to go on to look at the names for our basic shapes. So, Mathematik, a bit of maths from that subject. So our new learning today, die Formen, which are the shapes, die Formen. And we're just going to do today some of the basic shapes in German, because they're going to help us to do what we're going to work on with some of the artwork that we're going to do. So just have a little look on the screen there. You've got 5 shapes, and I'm just going to stop for a second to see if you might want to pause, whether you can have a little go at trying to say any of those words for shapes before I have a go. Just have a go yourselves. Okay, so first one, das Dreieck. Das Dreieck. Maybe you can have a go at that. Das Dreieck. Bit of a clue in the name here, drei. We know that's one of our words, one of our vocabulary words. Which number is it? It's number 3. So Dreieck. And Eck comes from the word for corner as well. So it's a shape that's got 3 corners, which we know in English is a triangle. Das Dreieck. Note as well here, it's das. Okay, so it's neuter. It's not der, not die, it's das Dreieck. Good. Die nächste Form, das Rechteck. Das Rechteck. Okay, that's quite a bit more tricky to say. Rechteck. Okay. What shape is it? It's a rectangle. Okay, and if you're thinking of a way to remember that, that almost sounds a little bit like rectangle. Das Rechteck. Okay. And die nächste, das Oval. Das Oval. Okay. Oval. No. Okay, so on to the next bit. I'm going to bring back up my screen in front of you as well. So we've now had a little look at the picture, and let's look at some more questions that we had. So one of them was about whether you liked the picture or not, because it's quite unusual, isn't it? Just to see a picture of 2 pigs but painted in that way. So if you were asked that question, magst du das Bild? Here's some ways that you might be able to respond to it. Ja, ich mag das Bild. What do you think that means? Ja, yes. Ich mag das Bild. Mag is the verb to like. So, ja, ich mag das Bild. I like the picture. Just note as well here, Bild, it's got a capital B. Just remember, in German, all nouns have a capital. So it's not a proper noun, it's just the name, the word for picture, but it's a capital. Das Bild ist schön. Okay. Das Bild ist schön. Now, I think we've used that word before. It means nice. And we use it to describe all sorts of things. Das Wetter ist schön. For clothes, we've used it. For work, for all sorts of things. Colours. So schön. Notice as well the umlaut that we have on the O, giving it that U sound. Das Bild ist schön. Okay. The picture is nice. Das Bild ist bunt. So I think we know what that word means. We revise that at the beginning. It means colourful or multicoloured. Das Bild ist interessant. Das Bild ist interessant. Very similar to English there. The picture is interesting, and I think it is really interesting. Why would somebody choose to paint the picture in this way? Or 9. Ich mag das Bild nicht. So no, I don't like the picture. Now notice about the way that it's constructed. No, I like the picture not. The word order is slightly different in German. 9. Ich mag das Bild nicht. And they put the negative part at the end of the sentence. Don't worry too much about that right now. Das Bild ist zu bunt. It's too colourful. Das Bild ist zu bunt. 9. Ich mag das Bild nicht. Das Bild ist zu bunt. And the last one there, das Bild ist langweilig. Das Bild ist langweilig. Boring. Das Bild ist langweilig. I don't think the picture is very boring, but some of you might think so. So thinking about that, because in the next few weeks, we're going to be thinking about doing a little bit of writing about this picture, and some of those phrases are going to be really useful. So we're going to come back to them. Okay, move on to my next slide. Thinking about what you can see in the picture, I think it's quite clear we can see zwei Schweine. And it's how we think about the other things that we see and thinking about those shapes that we've talked about and that we've learned about today. So we've got some words there to help us at the top and some phrases. Im Bild sind zwei Schweine. In the picture, im Bild, sind is the verb are. Im Bild sind zwei Schweine. In the picture, there are 2 pigs. We know that. Ich sehe viele Farben und Formen. So pick apart the words that we know. Viele, lots of. Viele Leute is people. Viele Farben, lots of colours. And Formen is the plural word for shapes. Former or Formen for shapes. Okay. And Farben is the plural for colours. Ich sehe. It's very similar to English, is to see, is the verb to see. Ich sehe viele Farben und Formen. I see lots of colours and shapes. Da sind Quadrate und Rechtecke. Da sind Quadrate und Rechtecke. Note here, these are a little bit different to the words that we saw if we go back to here. They've got something else on the end. What is it? What is it? They've got E's on the end, and the reason for that is, do you remember why we have E's on the end most of the time? It's to show that they're plural. Okay, it's more than one. And I know that it's more than one we're talking about because I've got the word sind, which means are. So I'm not talking about is, are, which means often more than one. Da sind, there are, Quadrate und Rechtecke. So there are squares and there are rectangles. Ich sehe, we've got that construction again there. Ich sehe, viele Farben. I see lots of colours. Da ist hellblau. Now that's new for us as well. We recognise blau as blue. Da ist, there is hellblau. Da ist dunkelblau. Can you remember when we did some description before? I think we came across the word dunkel. I'm not sure we used the word hell. So dunkelblau is for dark blue or dark. And hellblau or hell means light. So da ist hellblau, there is light blue, hellblau, da ist dunkelblau. Yeah? So we can think about trying to describe the picture. And I just, pause the video if you want. Maybe you can have a go at one of those sentences for yourself. Da sind, there are, what shapes? What colours do you see? Ich sehe blau. Ich sehe rot, ich sehe grün. Da ist hellrot, da ist dunkelrot. Da ist hellgrün, da ist dunkelgrün. Have a think of how you can use some of those. You don't need to do any writing with them right now. Just think about how we can use them to describe the picture. Okay, so here is my task for you this afternoon. I would like you to send me a picture, however you choose to do that. It could be one that you've done on the computer. It could also be one that you have drawn on paper and you want to send in with taking a picture of it. But I want you to show me the following shapes that are coloured correctly. So I will know if you've managed to do this correctly because I will know if my picture matches what I'm asking you to do. And I'm not going to tell you what these are. You can use the video to help you. So I want you to draw for me. Ein roter Kreis. Ein roter Kreis. You should be able to pick out in there what the shape is and what colour name you see and how many. That's really important here. Ein roter Kreis. Zwei grüne Dreiecke. Zwei grüne Dreiecke. Ein Quadrat, das dunkelblau ist. Ein Quadrat, das dunkelblau ist. 4 bunte Ovale. 4 bunte Oval. Ein hellrosa Rechteck. Ein hellrosa Rechteck. Und ein dunkelgrünes Quadrat. Ein dunkelgrünes Quadrat. So, I'm expecting a picture from you that has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things on it, okay? You can do the picture however you like. It could just be with each of those things drawn kind of one after the other. It could be you make it into a picture yourself. That is completely up to you at Year 5. My challenge though for you, if you can you write out the name and each of the shapes that you draw with the phrases above? So when you have drawn ein dunkelgrünes Quadrat, can you label it underneath so I know that that is what you have drawn? Maybe as well, if you're going to video your work for me and send it in, maybe you can read it out for me so you can have a practice and have a go at speaking those phrases as you show it to me. I'm also going to ask you as well as an additional challenge, if you can do it this afternoon, can you tell me why grün grüner and bunt and bunter have an E on the end here. We've got bunt and we have grün. There is a reason, and I want you to have a think, and it's something to do with these words here. Normally, we just have grün and bunt without an E. Here, they have an E. Why? We talked about it a little bit in the video. So there is your challenge. Send it in to me, please, Year 5. Myself and Mr. Venton will have a little look, and we're looking forward to see what you managed to send us in. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and I will see you for next week's lesson. Thank you.